Okay, so here we are on the Imperial College London website, and if I do a quick search for inclusive technology, we'll find the first link is the inclusive technology page. And if we have a look at the links that have appeared on the left-hand side, today we are going to have a look at revision. And we're going to be looking at this tool, Quizlet. Now, Quizlet is free. There is a paid version of it which gives you extra functionality, but you can use the free version and get lots of value out of it, and it's based around the idea of creating a cue card system for exams. So it's like an index card system, the idea being that you have a question or a phrase to prompt yourself on the front of a card, and then on the other side you write an answer or you write further information, and you systematically work through your deck of cards while you are revising. The problem with this way of working, or at least the problem with the way some people approach it, is that they don't really test themselves. That is, they'll look at the card, they'll look at the back, and they'll think, well, I got that one wrong. But there's no system in place for recording which ones they got right and which ones they got wrong. That sounds like a really simple thing, but actually introducing a number of processes that allow you to see how you are getting better at revising your chosen subject is pretty much instrumental in making this type of revision practice work. Quizlet is available as a phone app, and if you have an account, then you can also access all of your revision cards online via a web browser on your computer. So we're going to start off by setting up a new account and having a look at the app version. So when you first log into the Quizlet app, it's going to try and get you to spend some money to get the premium version, and there are definitely some useful things in the premium version, but for the purposes of this demo I'm just going to be focusing on the tools available in the free version. So I'm going to click on continue using the free version, and I can either search for study sets or create my own study set. And in this video I'm going to show you the process of revising, and I'm just going to randomly search for a study set that somebody else has created. You might find that there's some really useful resources online. You might find that some of the cards that you actually find aren't that great, because all of these cards are just public sets of cards that have been created by other people with Quizlet accounts, so do bear that in mind. Anyway, I'm going to search for study sets, and let's do a search for Aztecs, and let's see what comes up. So we've got a number of different sets of cards that people have created themselves. I'm just going to randomly choose one of these. So this is how the sets of cards look when you load them up, and you can see all of the individual cards, and it looks like this person has a premium account because they've actually added images into their flashcards. And if you just wanted to take a look at the card, first of all you can click on flashcards. This will show you all the different cards, and you can tap on them to swap them to the other side. There we go. So we've just learned a bit about floating island gardens there. You can also listen back to the words in the card,
Chinampers,
which is using a built-in text-to-speech engine there. You can also star particular cards, and you'll want to do this if you're having trouble with a particular card and you want to be able to focus on starred cards. So this will become clear how this works a bit later on. Anyway, we're going to go back to the previous screen by clicking on this X here, and we're actually going to use the Learn tool. So if I tap on this, now it's actually going to quiz us, and it is going to mark off the questions that we got correct and the ones that we got wrong. So I'm going to have a guess that this is something about Aztec agriculture here. Great, that's told me that that is correct. I'm assuming that this is an empire. Not doing too badly, and we've done this one already, so we know it's Chinampers. Now, as you continue working through the various cards, oh, there we are, I got that wrong, we're going to find that it gives us some feedback on how we're doing. I'm going to scoot ahead now, and eventually we'll get a screen like this, and it's saying that of the terms we've looked at so far, 6 of them I've got right, but when you answer something twice correctly, then you have achieved mastery. Now, alternatively, we could go back to the top level here and we could choose right, and we'll get something slightly different.
floating island gardens for growing crops.
Okay, so I think I know the answer to this, but this time you have to write it in.
Chinampers.
Right, so that's the correct
Maize,
answer.
avocados, tomatoes, chilies, squash, cocoa, slash and burn.
Okay, and if I don't know the answer, I can
Aztec
tap on that,
agriculture.
and that's going to give me a little bit more information there. So there's another way that you can work through your cards. Additionally, we've got this match tool, and if I tap on that, my job will be to match all of the terms with their definitions. And we can also see now that we've got the option to study starred terms. So this is where you might use the starring system. You might have identified some cards as particularly difficult, and you might just want to be tested on those. I'm going to click on Start Game, and the idea is that you're trying to beat whatever high score you got last time. See this timer at the top of the screen. Okay, I'm going to link together floating island gardens for growing crops and chinampas. And I keep on going through, and then if I do one wrong... Oh, I just got that one right randomly. Fantastic. Let's try Quetzal Feather and Causeway, which I know is wrong. And that adds a second onto your clock. And the final option here is Test. Now, Test is going to do all kinds of things, and you've got some flexibility to set how you want to be able to answer, either with the term or the definition. And it's going to include true or false statements, multiple choice statements, and it's going to get you to write as well. So let's see how well I do. If I click on Start Test now, I don't know the answer to this one, so I'm going to click on Don't Know. And I think this is Causeway. So you get the idea, you keep on working through and adding in answers. So I'm just going to say I don't know for the next few, just so that we can see it moving on. And now we're going to go to true or false statements. So I'm going to say this is true. That is definitely false. And again, you continue answering true or false for a few questions now, so I'll just skip on to the next lot. And finally, I've got some multiple choice questions here, and I know the answer to this is Quetzalcoatl. And you keep on working through until you get to the end of the test. Now, once you get to the end, you get a percentage score for how well you did, and we could see the answers here that we didn't get right. So we can see the answer that was posed and what we answered, and get a bit more information for the next time. And you can either choose to retake this test or just retake the starred cards. So this app, I hope you agree, is really useful, because it means you don't have to remember to take your study cards with you. They're all based off of an app on your phone. But what you will want to do eventually is actually start to create your own revision materials. So I'm on the top level of the app here, and if I click on this little box with a pencil, I can start to create new study sets. So I'm going to click on that, and I can start putting in my own terms and definitions here, as well as a title for this particular set of cards. So it's pretty intuitive, really. You can just go in and create a whole load of cards. I'm going to look at this in more detail in the next video, where we're going to be seeing what Quizlet looks like when you access it by logging in with your Quizlet account through the web browser on your computer.